A complete fitness health dashboard with custom arc progress rings, weekly bar charts, live workout tracker, dark OLED theme. Built in .NET MAUI with zero third-party chart SDKs, zero subscription, and zero compromises. If you ever been gatekept by a $2,000 license just to show a circle filling up on the screen, this video is for you. My name is Ranak and this is Vectoart. And by the end of this tutorial, you will have a production quality health UI that you own completely. So let's build it. So let's start from a brand new .NET MAUI app project. So that is file. Let's go to Visual Studio 2026 and create a new project. Select Maui.NET app from your recent templates. If you do not have it, search it over here. Say MAUI Maui, and you will find these workloads. If you do not have these workloads, you can of course go to Visual Studio installer and update your Visual Studio by clicking the modify button. And here under the modify, you have the workloads for desktop and mobile section. And there you have the .NET MAUI platform app UI development. You have to select this. It will give you a bunch of installations with the total space required, and you can click on install. And once installed, these workloads will appear in Visual Studio. So now I will not create this project, but for you just to understand how to create this project, I will click on this. Next, give the project the name, and once I click next, I will have to select the framework, and once the framework is selected, I will go and click on the create button. But for this video, I will just walk you through the existing code that I ran in the beginning. There are two reasons. One is typing this entire code will make this video lengthy, and also it will be painful for you to watch the entire code. For the next best thing that I can do is I will keep the whole source code in GitHub and leave a link in the description for you to download and check it out. I will walk you through the entire code in this video. So let's go. Before we move to the coding, we need to talk about the NuGet packages. So our project uses two major NuGet packages. One, so if I go to tools, NuGet package manager, manage NuGet packages, you will see that I have installed CommunityToolkit.Mvvm. This is for the source generators that eliminate MVVM boilerplate. I have made a separate video talking about source generators and MVVM boilerplate. Please do check out if you are interested in source generators. So I have installed it by going to browse, searching for MVVM, and you can see we have CommunityToolkit.Mvvm. Select this in your project and install. I've already installed it, so you can see I have the uninstall button, and it will appear once installed. It will appear in the install tab. Apart from that, we have the Maui controls toolkits. These come by default when you select or create a Maui project. These are for extended behaviors. That's it. And now, before we write a single line of UI, we need to set up our color system, and that is how professional apps avoid the hard-coded hex chaos problem. Every color lives in one file with a semantic name. So let's walk through that. So I will close this NuGet solution, and here under resources, styles, I have the color.xaml. So we have defined our full dark palette in this file. The key rule is name colors by what they mean and not by what they look like. So we are not writing a color name or a key name like dark blue, but we write background dark, and not bright green but accent neon. So here's our palette. The dark background for that deep navy black, OLED friendly, and the surface card for our card backgrounds, the accent neon for our signature neon green for steps and primary highlights, and accent orange for our calories, and accent purple for our charts. Let me run this application once, this time in Windows and not the Android platform, and pin it to the right. And let me squeeze it a bit, and here you can see what I meant. So the dark background, the OLED friendly colors, then these accent neon for the progress bar, the accent purple for the active, and accent orange for the calories. And also you can see we have the weekly steps with accent neon and so on. So these colors tokens will follow through every component, every ring, our cards, our chart bars, and change one hex value here, and the entire app updates. That's the power of proper resource dictionary systems. So next is the main event. So let me go to Solution Explorer. Under controls, we have the arc progress view.cs. And Maui has this class called GraphicsView, and it is a drawable surface. You give it something that implements IDrawable, and in this case, we have it implemented in our method called class called arcDrawable, and it is inheriting this IDrawable. And Maui calls our draw method, which is over here, every time it needs to paint the control. So inside this draw, we have the full canvas. So with draw lines, arcs, text, gradients, anything. So our ring has a track arc, the gray background color over here, and the progress arc, which is the color that represents the completion of the progress. Both use canvas dot arc. So here you can see we have our track arc, which uses canvas dot draw arc, and the progress arc, which uses the canvas dot draw arc. uh, so with a start angle of 135 and a max sweep of 270, which is specified over here, so that gives us the classic fitness ring shape, which is open at one end. So the magic formula is sweep progress is equal to progress into multiplied by 270. So if you are at 78% of step goals, your arc sweeps is 78% of 270 degrees, which is about 210 degrees. Simple math, stunning results. We are also adding bindable properties here on the top. So you can set progress, you can set progress color, track color, value labels here at the bottom, and unit labels, also all from XAML. This control works for any metrics: steps, calories, sleeps, heart rate, zones. One control to rule them all. Of course, the data here is a mock-up data, but you need to connect it to a sensor or tracker, and that way you get the real-time data for the health. Um, and there they are, the three rings, as you can see: neon green for steps, orange for calories, purple for active minutes, all from a single reusable control. No external dependency, roughly 80 lines of pure C sharp here in this arc progress view, and you get a reusable control that we have used multiple times just by changing some of the properties. Let's talk architecture. So let me go to my view model over here and open the dashboard view model. And we are using CommunityToolkit.Mvvm, like I showed you, by installing the NuGet package. So the CommunityToolkit.Mvvm source generator pattern is being used, and it's genuinely one of the nicest things to happen to MVVM in years. In the old way, we wrote private fields and public properties, called on property change, repeated it 20 times. But in the new way, we write a property, or sorry, a private field with this observable property, and the source generators write everything else at compile time. Our view model goes from 200 lines to 40 lines, and here you can see our dashboard view model holds all the states: steps, calories, active minutes, heart rate, sleep hours, all as observable properties. And our weekly data, if you see at the bottom over here, is an observable collection of type weekly bar data, and that drives the chart. So the stats card are built with Maui's border control. So if I go to views and open our dashboard page.xaml, you can see our stats card here at the bottom, which are built using our border control. And if you see the style here, it is using a card style. And let me open the resources under styles, open the style file. And here you can see the style for our cards. So this is the card style that is being used. And as you can see, the stroke shape is a rounded rectangle. So let me run the app here to show you side by side on how this looks like. So here you can see we have our stats card, one for distance, sleep, resting heart rate, and max heart rate. So here you can see we have our rounded rectangles, and that is the stroke shape that we have set over here, the property. And there are other properties as well that are set for this card style. And this style has been applied to our distance card. And similarly, the same style has been applied to our sleep card and the other two cards. If you see inside each of the layout, we have the label that displays the emoji icon. Then we have the value label that displays the stat, and our unit label, which shows us the unit over here. What makes these feel premium isn't the data, it's the color assignment. Distance and sleep are using the default text of white, but if you see the heart rate for resting, it uses the accent color of red. And if you see the max heart rate, you will see that it is using the accent color of orange. Consistent color semantics throughout the app builds visual trust with the user. The weekly chart is another graphic view plus iDrawable. Same pattern as the rings, but this time we are drawing bars instead of the arcs. The key concept is normalization. So if I go to Solution Explorer and open the weekly bar chart under controls, you can see it is using the graphic views and the iDrawable interface, same as the arcs. But we find the maximum step count maximum step count in the week, then divide each day step by max to get a 0 to 1 height ratio, and multiply by the available chart height, and you have a bar height in pixels, which is infinitely flexible. And if you see the color logic, today's bar is purple, the completed days are neon, and the future days like Sunday, if we are only at Saturday, get the dim inactive color. This gives users immediate visual context without any labels. The second tab is the active workout tracker, a large timer display in neon green, two stat cards below for calories and step updating in real time, a picker for workout type over here, and a start and stop button. Uh, so here, if you see under Solution Explorer, under Views, I have the workout page, and I'll also open the view model, workout view model. And the view model uses a system.timers.timer to fire every second, updating the elapsed time, estimated calories, and estimated steps. So here you can see we have a timer, and this timer, here you can see once we start, it updates this calls this update tracking method, and the update tracking method updates these properties, which are observable properties, and then you can see there they are here at the top, and these properties are bound to the controls here on the top. For example, for this neon green tracker here, the timer display, it is bound to the elapsed time, and then you have the stat cards which are bound to the current calories, and the one below, which is the current steps. In all routed to the UI via the observable property and relay commands. In production, you would swap these for a Apple Health Kit or a Google Fitbit data. And there you have it, a complete health dashboard UI in .NET MAUI, running on Windows and also running on the Android emulator. I couldn't run it on the iOS as I do not have the right setup, but here you can see the app working as expected, both on both platforms. And with custom arc rings, stat cards, weekly bar charts, a live workout tracker, and a dark theme MVVM with no SDKs, no license, no subscription. The source code is free. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. If you like this video, please drop a lightning bolt or a thumbs up in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And here's one question for the comments. What's the next Maui UI challenge you want to see built from scratch? Spotify clone, a weather app, a banking dashboard? Drop it below and let's vote on the next one. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel. It motivates me to create more such videos. Till then, bye bye.